She texted, "Just a heads up, I told everyone we're taking a break while I was at a work conference." I replied, "Thanks for letting me know." Then I made it permanent. The Facebook relationship status change she saw at her sister's wedding was priceless. I'm 31, work in corporate sales in Austin. Been with my girlfriend for 2 years. Met at a barbecue, hit it off immediately. First year was great. Around month 14, she started staying over more. A drawer became half the closet. By month 16, she was basically living with me, though we never made it official. The lease was only in my name. She contributed to groceries and utilities, never signed anything, never paid rent directly. Last few months had been different. More time with friends, always on her phone, snapping at me over small things. Her sister's wedding was coming up. She was maid of honor. I told myself it was wedding stress, tried to be supportive. Thursday afternoon, I was at a sales conference in Atlanta. 3 days of presentations, networking, pitching to clients. I'd worked toward this for months. Mid-presentation when my phone buzzed. I ignored it, finished the pitch, felt good about it. Conference break at 3:30, grabbed coffee, checked my phone. Text from her at 2:17. "Hey, just a heads up, told my family and friends we're taking a break. Didn't want you blindsided if people ask lol. We can talk about it when you're back Sunday. Sister's wedding is Saturday, so gonna be crazy busy anyway. I read it 3 times. She told everyone we were taking a break. Past tense. Already done." While I was 900 miles away giving a presentation that could make or break my quarterly numbers, not asking if we should take a break, just informing me she'd already announced it, and we'd talk about it later after her sister's wedding when she was less busy. I typed back, "Thanks for letting me know." Sat in the hotel bar for 2 hours, ordered whiskey, thought about what was really happening. Her sister's wedding, she was maid of honor, center of attention, and she wanted everyone to think we were on a break. Why? So she could appear single? I pulled out my laptop, changed my relationship status from in a relationship to single. No explanation, no post, just changed it. Let the algorithm notify whoever it wanted. Then I Googled tenant rights for guests. If someone isn't on a lease, isn't paying rent directly to the landlord, hasn't signed anything, they're not a tenant, they're a guest, and you can ask a guest to leave whenever you want. I sat there looking at my lease agreement. Only my name, she'd never signed anything. Never paid the landlord directly. We split utilities and groceries, but that was between us. Legally, she had no claim to my apartment. I'm not a rash person. But this wasn't anger. This was clarity. She'd made a decision about our relationship without me. Announced it to everyone while I was trying to focus on work. Treated our 2-year relationship like something she could pause at her convenience. That told me everything about how she valued me. Called my landlord Friday morning. Quick question about guest policies. His response was straightforward. If she's not on the lease, not paying rent to him, she's a guest. If I wanted her gone, I just needed to tell her to leave. He suggested I put it in writing, send a text stating she needed to vacate. Finished the conference Friday afternoon. Flew back Saturday morning. She wasn't home, probably at wedding venue. I started packing her things. Took 4 hours. Every piece of clothing, every shoe, every product. The decorative pillows covering every surface, her expensive hair products, candles everywhere. Everything went into boxes stacked neatly in the living room, called a locksmith. Saturday afternoon cost me $190. By 4 I had new locks. Sat on my couch, suddenly much more comfortable without 17 throw pillows, and waited. She came home at 8:43, heard her key in the lock, scraping, more scraping. Then pounding. "Hey, my key's not working. Something's wrong with the lock." I opened the door, left the chain on. I changed the locks. She blinked. "What? Why would you do that? You told everyone we're taking a break. I'm making it permanent." The smile disappeared. "What are you talking about? We're not taking a break. We're broken up." "Done. Your stuff is packed." "That's not what I meant. I didn't mean break up. I meant take a break." Like a pause. "Cool. I figured things out. We're done. You can't just decide that. You announced a break to everyone without asking me. I'm announcing a breakup without asking you. Seems fair." Her face flushed. "This is insane. Let me in so we can talk like adults. Nothing to discuss. Your things are right there. I live here." "No, you stayed here. You're not on the lease, never signed anything. You're a guest who I'm asking to leave." "You can't kick me out. I have rights." "Actually, you don't. Called my landlord. You're not a tenant, you're a guest." She stared through the gap in the door. "This is because of the break thing. My sister's wedding is in 8 days. I'm the maid of honor. I've been stressed and needed space, and this is how you react. By telling everyone we broke up without mentioning it to me first?" "Yeah. I said break, not broke up. There was a difference." "Not anymore." She tried tears. Baby, please, I didn't mean it like that. Take all the time you need. As a single person, your stuff is inside. After 2 years, you're throwing this away over nothing. Over you making major relationship decisions without consulting me. That's not nothing. I closed the door, heard her screaming outside. Then another voice, her sister. The sound of boxes being dragged. 3 trips. Then silence. My phone started buzzing. Text after text from her saying I was overreacting, that this was unfair, that I couldn't throw her out, that she was coming back tomorrow, that I was being abusive. I turned off my phone, ordered pizza, watched TV without moving 40 pillows first. Best Saturday night I'd had in months, but here's what I didn't tell her. Friday night before I flew home, I'd gone through social media. Her Instagram had photos from 2 months ago. Her with some guy at a coffee shop. Tagged him. I clicked through. Derek, her ex from college, dated 3 years before he moved to Dallas. He'd moved back to Austin 6 months ago. 5 different posts over 2 months, always when I was traveling for work. And Derek was going to be at the wedding. I'd seen the guest list. He was bringing his fiancée. She hadn't wanted a break. She'd wanted to appear single because her ex would be there. The break announcement was her insurance policy. If nothing happened with Derek, she could tell me she'd realized during her break that she wanted us. If something did happen, well, we were on a break. I decided not to be her backup plan. Update one Sunday morning. Turned on my phone. 38 messages. Her mom asking what was going on. Her sister saying this was bad timing, could we work it out after the wedding? Her best friend calling me immature. Her dad wanting to talk. Her cousin calling me trash. And 20 more from her, alternating between apologetic and furious. Replied to her mom. She announced to everyone we were taking a break without discussing it with me first, while I was at a work conference. I made the break permanent. She was never on my lease, and I asked her to collect her belongings. Her mom, that seems extreme, she was just stressed. Me, it's not her home, it's my apartment. She was a guest who never signed a lease. Didn't respond further. Told her sister the timing was inconvenient, but she'd made a unilateral decision about our relationship. Told her best friend she announced a break without asking me. I made it permanent. That's about respect. Blocked her number. Figured she'd use someone else's phone eventually. Sunday afternoon, my buddy James called. He'd seen my Facebook status. Dude, what happened? She announced we were taking a break without talking to me. Texted me at a conference saying just a heads up, told everyone. Wait, she announced it without asking. Yep. So I changed my status to single and packed her stuff. He laughed, then stopped. You're serious, completely. She wasn't on my lease. I asked her to leave. That's hardcore, man. She made a relationship decision without me. I don't need her permission to finish what she started. The wedding was Saturday. I didn't go. Spent the day hiking, phone on airplane mode. Got home around 7, turned it back on. 15 new messages, most from her family saying how could I miss the wedding, I embarrassed her. But one message caught my attention. From Derek's fiancée, someone I'd never met. Hi, you don't know me, but I'm engaged to Derek. Your ex made quite a scene at the wedding. She spent most of the reception trying to corner Derek, telling him she's single now and made a mistake years ago. Got pretty aggressive. Derek told her he's engaged and not interested. She didn't take it well. Made such a scene the bride asked her to leave early. Just wanted you to know in case she tries to come back claiming it was about you. There it was, confirmation. She hadn't wanted a break to deal with stress. She'd wanted to appear single to make a play for her ex. And when he rejected her, she got kicked out of her own sister's wedding. I responded, thank you for letting me know. I suspected something like that. Sorry you had to deal with that. Derek told me she'd been texting him for months. He never responded. She thought seeing him in person would change his mind. It didn't. So she'd been planning this for months, setting up a scenario where she could make her move while technically not cheating because we were on a break. I'd refused to play along. Monday at work, got congratulations on closing 2 of 3 conference deals. Boss asked if I was okay after personal issues over the weekend. Said I was fine, relationship ended but for the best. Tuesday evening, doorbell ringing. Checked Ring camera, her with 2 friends, I didn't answer. They rang for 5 minutes. She started yelling through the door, I know you're in there, we need to talk like adults. I used the Ring speaker. We have nothing to talk about. Leave or I'm calling the police. You can't ignore me. We were together 2 years. You told everyone we were on a break without asking me. I took you at your word. Please leave. I'm not leaving until you talk to me. Then I'm calling the police. You wouldn't dare. Called the non-emergency line. Hi, my ex-girlfriend is outside my apartment refusing to leave after I've asked her multiple times. I have video footage. They sent someone within 15 minutes. She'd been sitting in the hallway almost 2 hours. The cop asked if she lived there. She said yes. He asked if she was on the lease. She said no, but she'd lived there over a year. Ma'am, if you're not on the lease and the resident is asking you to leave, you need to leave. This is trespassing. The cop looked at my ring footage. Ma'am, you've been here 2 hours after being asked to leave. You can leave voluntarily or I can make it official. She left screaming that I couldn't just throw people away, that she'd given me 2 years. Wednesday, her mom left a voicemail. The police? You called the police on my daughter. She was just trying to talk to you. She's devastated. She's filing a restraining order against you for harassment. Saved the voicemail. Thursday, her best friend texted from a new number. She's talking about hurting herself. This is on you. Me, if she's talking about self-harm, call 911 or take her to a hospital. I'm not qualified and I'm not responsible for her mental health. Best friend, heartless, me, professional. There are people trained for this. I'm not one of them. Friday, I got tagged in a Facebook post. She'd written about how she'd asked for space to deal with family stress and I'd thrown her out of our home. How she spent her sister's wedding alone and heartbroken. Asking for privacy during this difficult time. Comments were mixed. Then Derek's fiancée commented, interesting version, very different from what actually happened at the wedding. Post deleted within an hour. Saturday morning, heard someone at my door, checked ring, her, with a key, an old key, maybe a copy she'd made. She was trying to get in, called non-emergency. Hi, same situation. My ex is attempting to enter my apartment with an old key. I've changed locks, but she's trying to break in. I have video. They sent someone, caught her trying the key, asked what she was doing. She said getting into her apartment. He asked if she was on the lease. She said no, but she lived there. He explained that's breaking and entering. They called backup. 2 cops spent 30 minutes explaining she needed to stop coming to my apartment, that she had no legal claim, that if she came back they'd arrest her. Got a text from a new number an hour later. I hope you're happy. The cops threatened to arrest me, all because I wanted to talk. Me, you tried to break into my apartment with an old key. That's illegal. Don't contact me again. Her, I live there. Me, you don't. You never did. You were a guest. Stop contacting me or I'm filing a restraining order. Blocked that number 2. Update 2 week 3. Harassment continued in various forms. Different numbers texting. Her mom calling from her dad's phone. Her cousin sending Facebook messages calling me emotionally abusive. I blocked each one, but they kept finding new ways. Then I got a certified letter from a law firm. She was suing me for illegal eviction, emotional distress, and refusing to return property. $12,000 for relocation costs, $3,500 for therapy, $2,800 for property I supposedly refused to return, and a written apology. There was no property I hadn't returned. Everything had been boxed and she'd taken it all. Relocation costs were based on moving back with her parents. Therapy costs were estimated future expenses. The illegal eviction claim was based on her believing she'd established tenancy. Called my buddy who's a real estate lawyer. Sent him photos. He laughed for a solid minute. This is one of the dumbest demand letters I've ever seen. She has no case. She wasn't on your lease, didn't pay rent to the landlord, never signed anything. Zero proof of legal tenancy. The emotional distress requires actual provable damages, and she's claiming you have property you demonstrably returned. Her lawyer is either incompetent or she lied to him. What should I do? Nothing. If she actually files, call me, but she won't. This is intimidation. She's hoping you'll panic and pay her to go away. Don't respond, don't negotiate, don't engage. Also, you should file a restraining order. Multiple police reports, video of her trying to break in, documented harassment. Solid case. I filed Monday. Restraining order application citing harassment, trespassing, attempted breaking and entering, refusal to cease contact. Attached police reports, screenshots, ring footage, screenshot of her deleted Facebook post. Hearing Thursday. She showed up with her mom and a lawyer. Different lawyer, looked more expensive. They sat across from me. Her mom glared the entire time. The judge reviewed everything. Watched ring footage of her sitting outside my door for 2 hours. Watched her trying to use an old key. Read police reports. Looked at text screenshots. Ma'am, did you sit outside the petitioner's residence for over 2 hours after being asked to leave? I was just trying to talk to him. We'd been together 2 years and... That's not what I asked. Did you sit there for 2 hours? Yes, but did you attempt to enter his residence with a key after locks were changed? It was my home. I lived there over a year and... Were you on the lease? No, but... Then it wasn't your home, it was his residence where you were a guest. Ma'am, you attempted to enter someone's home without permission after being told to stay away. That's criminal behavior. Her lawyer tried arguing I'd let her on, that we'd had an established domestic partnership, that I'd traumatized her. The judge shut it down. The end of a relationship does not give someone the right to harass, trespass, or attempt breaking and entering. The petitioner has provided ample evidence. Restraining order granted. 1 year. No contact, no third-party contact, stay 500 feet away. She started crying. This is insane. I didn't do anything wrong. Her mom started yelling at me in the courtroom, "You're destroying her life. She can't go to her favorite coffee shop because it's near your apartment. You've taken everything from her." The bailiff had to escort them out. Her mom was still yelling in the hallway. Derek's fiancé called the next week. "Hey, I wanted to thank you." "For what?" "For warning Derek. After what you told me, I told Derek everything." Good thing too, because she kept trying to contact him, showing up at his gym, sending messages, calling his work. It got bad enough that we filed a restraining order too. Because you gave us the heads up, Derek documented everything from the start, made the process much easier. She filed a restraining order too, got approved yesterday. Between yours and his, she's basically not allowed within a mile of half downtown. Wow, yeah. She's really not well. I hope she gets help, but thank you for the warning. Update 3: It's been 2 months since the wedding. Time to close this out. After the restraining orders, things went quiet. No more texts from random numbers, no more family members calling, no more social media attempts. The legal demand letter never became a lawsuit. My lawyer was right. Pure intimidation that failed. I heard through friends what happened to her. She lost her job, too many mental health days, missed deadlines and meetings. Her boss had been understanding at first, but after 3 weeks of poor performance, they let her go. She moved back with her parents. Her sister stopped speaking to her. The wedding photos cost an extra $800 to edit her out of shots after the scene she caused, and she refused to help pay. The sister was furious. Derek and his fiancée got married last month. She wasn't invited. Derek actually reached out to thank me for the heads up about the harassment. He said his fiancée had told him everything and they'd been prepared because of it. We got coffee. Decent guy. He said she'd done similar things when they'd broken up years ago, but he'd been younger and hadn't known how to handle it. This time he'd documented everything from the start. Her best friend, the one who'd been aggressive defending her, eventually distanced herself. She'd learned the real story about the wedding, how her friend had spent the reception trying to get back with her ex while claiming I'd abandoned her. The best friend felt manipulated. She reached out to apologize for the aggressive texts. I appreciated it but didn't engage beyond accepting the apology. As for me, life has been good, really good. The apartment feels like mine again, got rid of the excessive decorative pillows. Work is going well. Closed both conference deals, exceeded Q4 targets, got a substantial bonus. Boss mentioned potential promotion for next year. I started dating someone new 3 weeks ago. Met her at a friend's barbecue. Her name is Sophie. She's a physical therapist, owns her own practice. She has her own apartment, her own established independence. We're taking it slow. Second date, she asked about my last relationship. I told her the truth, all of it. Sophie was quiet for a moment. So she wanted to appear single at her sister's wedding to test the waters with her ex, and when he rejected her, she wanted you back as backup. Exactly. And you said no. Correct. Good. That takes real spine. A lot of people would have taken her back. We went out again the following weekend. And the weekend after. She knows about the restraining order, knows the whole messy story, hasn't run away. That feels significant. To everyone who asked if I regret how I handled it, no. Not even a little. When someone makes major decisions about your relationship without including you, they're showing you exactly how much they value your input. When someone wants to keep you on hold while they pursue someone else, they're telling you precisely what you mean to them. Believe them. She wanted to announce a break to appear single at a major family event. I changed my status to single that same day. By the time she got to the wedding, everyone knew we were done. She spent the event trying to win back an ex who'd moved on. He rejected her. She made a scene. Got asked to leave her own sister's wedding. Then spent weeks harassing me, trespassing, attempting to break in, until 2 restraining orders forced her to stop. All because she couldn't have an honest conversation. Because she thought she could have it both ways. She played games and lost everything. Her relationship, her home, her job, her family relationships, her friendships, her reputation, her freedom of movement in half the city. I didn't destroy her life. She destroyed it herself. I just refused to be part of the destruction. My relationship status still says single, but that'll probably change soon. Sophie and I are getting serious. When we make it official, it'll be a decision we make together. A conversation we have like adults. That's what partnership actually looks like. When someone treats your relationship like something they can pause at their convenience, they're not your partner. When someone makes major decisions without consulting you, they're telling you your input doesn't matter. Believe them. Act accordingly. Don't wait for permission to protect yourself. Don't let someone string you along as their backup option. Don't accept behavior you wouldn't accept from a stranger just because you have history. History means you invested time together. It doesn't mean you owe them your future. She texted me just a heads up about taking a break. I took her at her word and made it permanent. She expected me to wait while she pursued her ex. I didn't wait. She expected me to take her back when it didn't work out. I didn't take her back. She expected me to accept harassment because we'd been together 2 years. I filed restraining orders instead. Every step of the way, she expected me to roll over and accept whatever she decided. Every step I chose myself instead. And that choice made all the difference. I'm done with this story. Moving forward with someone who values partnership over games, honesty over manipulation, mutual decisions over unilateral announcements. Thanks for following along.